Okay, so for the arms, I'm using the same size crochet hook, the 3mm crochet hook, and the same 4-ply worsted weight acrylic yarn. And you'll need to make 2 of these arms. I am going to start with a magic ring. Okay, so there is my magic ring. And the arms for the bunny, they have 11 rounds. So they are a little bit longer than the legs. The legs had 9 rounds. The arms will have 11. So for round 1, you'll work 5 single crochets into the center of the magic ring. So there are my 5 single crochets. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the tail of the magic ring to close that up a little bit so I can get to that first stitch to begin round 2. Okay, so we are going to work in continuous rounds for the arms. So I will need my stitch marker. Okay, so for round 2, we will increase in every single stitch. So you will increase 5 times. So 2 single crochets into every single stitch. So I'm going to work my first stitch into that first one to begin round 2. Okay, so I've got my stitch marker in place, marking the beginning of round 2. Okay, so now into that same stitch where I just worked 1, I'm going to work a second single crochet because I want to increase in every single stitch. So the first stitch, 2 stitches. So the first stitch has 2 single crochets, and then each stitch 2 single crochets in every single stitch to do an increase in all of the stitches. So now I have completed round 2. I did an increase in every single stitch, which means I worked 2 single crochets into every single stitch. So when you're done with round 2, you should have 10 stitches. So now then, round 3 through round 11, 1 single crochet in every single stitch. Round 3 through 11 will not have any increases or decreases. It will just be 1 single crochet in every single stitch. So I'm just going to work 9 rounds with 1 single crochet each. So I'm beginning round 3 now. 1 single crochet into that first stitch, then place my stitch marker. And you want to remember to put your stitch marker in for each round because it's really easy to lose track of where the rounds begin and end when you work in continuous rounds. And then I'm just going to do 1 single crochet in every single stitch for this round 3. And when you're done with round 3, you should have 10 stitches. Okay, and then it's starting to curve up. So now I'm going to turn it inside out because I want the right side to be facing outward. Okay, and then I'm just going to work 8 more rounds the same way I just did round 3. So the next 8 rounds, 1 single crochet in every single stitch. Okay, this is round 4. Now I'm beginning round 5. Round 5 is also 1 single crochet in every single stitch. Okay, so that's the end of round 5. I have 10 stitches at this point because I did 1 single crochet in every single stitch, and now I'm beginning round 6. Round 6, 1 single crochet in every single stitch. Okay, beginning round 7. Round 7, 1 single crochet in every single stitch. Round 7, also just 1 single crochet in every single stitch. And that completes round 7, and I have 10 stitches. So now round 8, 1 single crochet in every single stitch for round 8 as well. That completes round 8. That was 1 single crochet, so I have 10 stitches. Beginning round 9. Round 9, 1 single crochet in every single stitch. And that completes round 9. So now I have 10 stitches after I finish round 9. Okay, beginning round 10. So round 10 is just 1 single crochet each. Just like round 3 through 9 was also 1 single crochet each. And that completes round 10. When you're done with round 10, you will still have 10 single crochets. Alright, and then one more round. So round 11, 1 single crochet each. Okay, and that completes round 11. So round 11, you should have 10 stitches when you're done with that round as well. So this was really easy to make. You just make 2 of these. You start with a magic ring. The first round, 5 single crochets. The second round, increase in every single stitch, and then you'll end up with 10 stitches. And then round 3 through round 11, 1 single crochet each. And when you're done with round 3 through 11, you'll have 10 stitches when you finish each of those rounds, since there are no increases or decreases in round 3 through 11. So then, once you finish the first arm, you just make a second one the same way. Okay, and then you can fasten off here. So you can cut the tail and fasten off. And you want to leave a good sized tail when you fasten off. That way you have enough yarn to sew the arm on. So that's the first one. So I will go ahead and put the camera on pause while I make a second arm just like this one. And while I had the camera on pause, I went ahead and worked up a second arm for the bunny. And what we're going to do here is we're going to add some fiber fill. But what we're going to do is when we add the fiber fill, we're not going to fill it all the way to the top. We're just going to put it, down towards the first part of the arm. And the reason why you want to do that, I'll show you here. If you see here, you can see where this is more full. And then right here, it's less full. I didn't put any fiber fill here. And the reason why is if you filled it all the way up, your arms would stick out like this on your bunny. But if you want the arms to lay against the body of the bunny like that, then you would not want to fill this part of the arm with fiber fill. Okay, so here's the first one I did. So now what I need to do is I need to put my hook back into that loop and then yarn over with the tail of the yarn and just pull it through that loop all the way through to fasten off. And I no longer need the stitch marker, so I'll go ahead and take that out. And here's the tail from the magic ring, so I'm going to go ahead and trim that. There's the first arm. So now this is the second one. So now, like on this one, I left a good sized tail so I can sew it on. I also want to make sure I leave a good sized tail when I cut this yarn. So now I'm going to fasten off. Same way, put my hook back into the loop, yarn over with that, and pull it all the way through to fasten off. And I no longer need the stitch marker, so I'm going to take that one out as well. Okay, so I have my 2 arms now. So let me go ahead and show you how I fill it with the fiber fill. I'm not going to fill them all the way up. And I'm just going to push that down towards the part where the hand is. And then I'm going to push it down until, like right here is kind of where I'm going to stop, so that way this will lay flat against the body of the bunny. So that way when you put the arms on the bunny, it will lay flat like that on its side. And if you filled it all the way, then it would be sticking out like that, which is not how I want it to look. So that's what I did here. I didn't fill it all the way up. Right now I'm going to add some fiber fill to the second one here. Alright, so I have my two arms now. Okay, so I have my two arms, and I have the body and tail completed, and the head. So now we need to make some ears for our bunny. So in the next video, I will show you how to make the ears for the bunny.